Hi lovelies, Lauren here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be leading you through a very beginner friendly, very easygoing yoga sequence where you don't need anything in particular. So you don't need any blocks or bricks, you don't even really need a mat, you just need a little bit of space and your lovely selves, and that will do it just perfectly. But if you do have blocks, bricks, maybe a couple of cushions or blankets that you do want to incorporate in your practice, you are more than welcome to do so. I just wanted to emphasize that they're not necessarily needed, especially right when you're just starting. So if that is you and this is your first ever practice, don't worry, all you need is you. All right, so let's get going. We're going to start in a child's pose. So you're going to find yourselves in your space, and for our child's pose, it's up to you. You can keep the knees kind of parallel, or you might like to separate the knees about mat distance apart or a little bit wider. Big toes come together to touch. Send your hips back towards your heels, and then if your hips don't come comfortably back towards your heels, you might like to stack one fist on top of the other and use that as a platform to rest the forehead. I usually find this a little bit more comfortable than maybe stretching the arms out in front, but if you do want to stretch the arms out in front, maybe you then release the forehead down towards the mat. So straight away we've got those kind of two options to take. So find which one feels most comfortable to you, and all we're going to do is simply settle in here. If you've got the knees a little bit further apart, you can allow the belly just to melt in between the thighs. Allow everything to be super soft here. Closing off the eyes, closing off the outside world, and settling into your yoga practice. And though settling in here, especially when it's your first ever practice, it can feel perhaps a little bit daunting being in these different poses and not really being sure what to think or what to do. And all you really need to do here is just focus on your breath. Focus on every inhale and every exhale. See if we can sink into that real deep connection to our breath, almost like observing our internal tide. So by observing that inhale, you can imagine the tide kind of pulling back. And then as you exhale, there's that crash of the waves amongst the shore. And we can sink into that connection, following our own internal tide. Inhaling, the tide pulls back. Exhale, the waves crash amongst the shore. And maybe you repeat that a couple of times. Beautiful. And as you simply breathe here in this child's pose, notice how your back body slightly rises, especially on the inhale. So the back body rises as the lungs inflate with all that lovely, clean, fresh air. And as we sigh out, we can just maybe sink a little bit further down towards the ground. Lovely. Let's take just one more of those deep cleansing breaths. Big breath in. Exhale. Lovely. And let's gently start to maybe flutter the eyelids back open. You're going to start to push down through the hands. Lift the forehead away from the backs of the hands or away from the ground. And just gently start to arrive into a little tabletop. You can nestle those knees back underneath the hips. Maybe the wrists come either directly underneath the shoulders, or you might want to send them a little bit further ahead if that's a little bit tricky for your wrists here. But just starting to kind of grip the ground with your fingertips, and we'll move through a little bit of cat and cow. So as we inhale, thinking about dropping the belly down towards the ground, lifting the tailbone and then lifting the chest and your chin, gazing ahead here. So maybe feeling a little bit of a stretch across the front of the body, across the abdominals here. And then as we exhale, we tuck the chin down towards the chest, tuck the tailbone under, round through the spine, and see if you can look towards your knees or perhaps towards your belly button here. Lovely, well done. And we keep going just like that. So we inhale, we drop the belly. We shine the heart forwards, lifting tailbone, lifting chest. Beautiful. And we can keep this really slow and sustained, starting to connect the movement to our breath. So exhale, you curve, separating those shoulder blades left to right if we can. Lovely. Inhale, we drop the belly, we rise up through the heart. And exhale, we curve. Beautiful. We're going to take just one more full round here. So one more inhale, lifting the heart, lifting chest, lifting tailbone. And one more exhale to curve. Lovely, well done. Inhale, come back to a fairly neutral spine, so neutral tabletop. Walk your hands further away still, hips level over your knees as best as you can. And then you're just going to start to melt the heart down towards the ground, coming into a little puppy dog stretch here. So the forehead might be able to meet the mat, or maybe it's hovering slightly off. That's okay. And again, maybe you bring one hand on top of the other, rest the forehead down, but still keep the hips lifted high. So this might be a slightly less intense stretch if we're supporting the forehead with the hands. But if you've got the hands stretched forward, you might feel that in the shoulder blades. Feel that little opening across the heart here. And wherever you are, again, maybe we hold for a breath in. We hold for a breath out. Lovely. Inhale, let's start to rise up. Walk the hands back towards you, come back into that tabletop. Now we're just going to spend a little bit of time warming up our wrists. So yoga, we can spend quite a lot of time on the hands and on our feet. So we're just going to make sure we're warming up the wrists slightly. So all I want you to do is circle your shoulders round and round. And as the shoulders come kind of over the fingertips, grip down through the fingertips as best as you can. And these circles might start super small, they might gradually work to be a little bit bigger, your choice. And then all we're going to do is reverse that direction. Lovely, well done. Okay. Let's go for one more breath in, one more breath out. Lovely. Now from here, all you're going to do is kind of paw at the mat, kind of like a cat kneads into a blanket so it gets nice and comfy. That's the kind of sensation you're mimicking with the hands, pawing at the mat, spreading the fingertips down. And then as you do this, just start to turn the fingertips in different directions. So you can start to turn them out to the side. Maybe you bring them to point back towards you. Careful here, maybe not placing all your weight down through the wrists. Lovely, well done. Maybe point the fingertips towards one another. And keep going just like that. Beautiful. Lovely. So nice and easy, just getting a little bit of movement into the whole of the palm of the hand, the wrist, the fingertips, also kind of warming up in the forearm slightly here. Okay, once you've come back to center, just gently flip onto the back of the right palm, so the right fingertips point back towards you, and gently rock the weight forwards and back. Lovely, well done. Okay. Beautiful, take a breath in. Take a breath out. And then we're going to change over. Right palm comes down, flip onto the back of the left hand, so left fingertips point towards you, and again, rock the weight forwards and back. Okay. And let's take another breath in. Another breath out. Beautiful. Come back onto the left palm. Take a moment to drop the belly, shine the heart forwards, lift chest, lift the tailbone, almost like what we did in cat-cow. But you're going to tuck your toes under. Now as you exhale, you're going to tuck the chin down towards the chest. Pull your lower belly in to tuck the tailbone under slightly. But then you're going to fly the hips to the sky, peel the knees away from the mat, and come into a little downward facing dog. Beautiful. So if this is a little bit too intense on our wrists here, maybe we keep the knees down and we just send hips up to the sky and we're back in our puppy dog pose. So the pose we just did before can almost be a modification for our down dog. But if you're happy in your down dog, keep bringing a little bit of movement into the legs. So bend one knee, then the other. Really trying to send the hips high and gluing the fingertips down and towards the ground. Lovely, well done. Let's see if we can incorporate our breath a little bit here. So we're going to sink into both knees. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, just lengthen the right leg, but keep the left knee bent. Lovely, well done. Maybe that right heel meets the mat, maybe it doesn't matter. Inhale, bend back in both knees. Exhale, lengthen the left leg this time. And again, maybe that left heel grounds down, maybe it doesn't. Inhale, bend in both knees. Exhale, lengthen right leg. Inhale, bend in both knees. Exhale, left. Lovely, well done. Inhale, bend in both knees again. So notice how your belly is really pressing up against your thigh. Really squish the belly against the thighs as best as you can. And then as you exhale, start to lengthen both legs, but see if we can keep that close proximity between our belly and our thighs. Let's go again. Once more, inhale, bending the knees, belly to thighs. Exhale, lengthen. Lovely. Inhale, looking forwards towards your fingertips, a little softness in the knees as you just start to walk your feet towards your hands. Now you might find that the hands need to come away from the mat here. That's okay as you walk the feet forwards. But just come into this little standing forward fold. So there's lots of softness in the back of the knees. And the upper body is super heavy. So the head is heavy, arms are heavy. We can have a little sway from side to side, and we might already feel this in our hamstrings today. And if you are an avid runner, or maybe you do lots of hiking and walking, your hamstrings might be quite tight, so you might be feeling this quite intensely. Beautiful. And you also might feel it across your lower spine as you let the upper body just hang here. Okay. Let's take one more breath in. One more breath out. Let's inhale, take a nice deep bend in the knees, roll up through the spine, stacking up bone by bone. So again, the upper body is super heavy as you go here. Take your time, no need to rush. Gradually coming all the way up to standing, and then from here, take an inhale, loop the shoulders up, back and down. Exhale. So we can stand up nice and tall here. And just notice that as you stand, spread the toes down and towards the ground. Little softness in the knees. Maybe we can think about also tucking the tailbone under slightly. So tucking tailbone under, pulling the ribs down. Beautiful. Standing tall, standing strong. Lovely. Take a breath in here. Take a breath out. Okay. We're going to take an inhale, we're going to take a big sweep up through the arms, grow tall here, reach the arms up to the sky. Maybe you look up with your gaze also. And as you exhale, separate the hands. You're going to hinge at your hips, lead with the heart as you fold all the way back down. Lovely. So as we fold, trying to ensure as best as we can that we're folding from our hips rather than our mid-back. So if we're folding from our back, we're probably somewhere around here, and we probably can't feel that we can't, or probably feel, sorry, that we can't go any further. But just maybe find a long spine again, hands to hips, and just think about having this hip hinge, softening the knees as you go, keeping a flat back, and just come down to as far as you can go. So that might be here, we can rest the hands on the knees, the shins, and then over time we might find we can go a little bit further. So again, no matter where you are in the fold, just trying to make sure we're folding from the hips rather than the mid-back. Lovely, well done. Okay, take a big breath in. Take a big breath out. We're going to take an inhale, find a little halfway lift, so bring your fingertips to the shins if they're not there already. Find this flat back, so you send in the crown of the head forwards, tailbone back. Exhale, return to your fold. So see if we can maintain that length as we fold a little bit deeper. Beautiful. And we might only move like a couple of centimeters or millimeters either. Doesn't matter. Bend in the knees, plant the fingertips down. We're going to take a nice big step back with the left leg. So left leg steps back. We're going to pop that left knee down. Now, if you feel like a little bit of tenderness through that left knee, and you do have a blanket or you are using a mat today, you can roll that up and give the knee a little bit of extra padding, a little bit of extra support. That is an option there if you have that. Okay, from here, let's lift the chest and let's just bring our hands towards our hips, taking a little low lunge. You might already feel that deep stretch across the front of the left hip flexor. And if you are, feel free to kind of stay exactly where you are, kind of keeping right angles in both knees. So right angle in the right knee, right angle in the left knee, and aligning your heart directly over your pelvis. If you want to make this stretch a little bit more deeper, perhaps, keeping the hands to the hips. And I want you to imagine you're trying to drag your right foot back towards you. So it's quite almost like you're still pushing right foot down and towards the ground, but see if you can drag it back towards you. At the same time, you're trying to drag left knee forwards. So left knee and right foot are trying to come towards one another. Tuck the tailbone under, almost like you kind of want to push the hips forwards here. But nothing really changes in my body visually, so you probably can't see any difference from me being quite relaxed to me making it a little bit more active. Yeah, it's really an internal sensation. So finding that right foot pulling back, left knee dragging forwards, drive the hips forwards as you go. Lovely. Hold for one more breath, one more exhale, and then from here we're going to release the hands all the way down. We're going to come to frame with this right foot. Now you might want to walk right toes a little bit further forwards. And then from here, we're going to start to lengthen that right leg. Maybe we don't lengthen that right leg completely. Maybe there's still quite a nice deep bend there. That's okay. We can keep the right toes down as well. Or maybe we find we can peel those right toes off away from the mat and send them up to the sky. So again, we're kind of targeting those hamstrings. And we might find it's kind of really difficult to keep the hands down towards the ground here. So maybe you're up on the fingertips. And again, if you do have blocks, maybe you're up here. But don't worry, just go as far as you can go. And you can keep a bend in the knee, yeah? So even though we've got that bend in the knee, you're still going to be targeting those hamstrings. You're still going to be feeling the stretch. Beautiful. Let's take one more inhale here. One more exhale. Let's bend back into that right knee, plant that right foot back down, and then push through the hands and send right knee to land next to the left. We come back into our tabletop. Take an inhale here. Now as you exhale, keep your hips lifted and just gently hug the elbows in as you bring chin and chest down towards the mat. A little bit of strength in the arms here. And then as you inhale, you swim the torso through, the hips gently come down. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe push through the fingertips slightly and lift the chest for a little baby cobra. Now you can be here, you can keep this quite small, or maybe you want to push through the hands and come up a little bit higher. But if you're feeling any pinching in the lower spine, feel free to come down a level, maybe making sure you're activating in your glutes, and we can also separate the legs slightly as well. Beautiful. Shoulders are still away from the ears, elbows a little bit soft. Take an inhale. Exhale, we gently ripple all the way back down. Beautiful. From here, take a breath in. Exhale, push through the hands to come back onto your knees, and then you tuck the toes under, come back to your down dog. Lovely, well done. We're going to take a full round of breath here. And then exhale. Inhale, look forwards towards your fingertips, bend the knees, and again, let's make a little walk all the way to top. And when you find that the hands need to come away, please feel free to do so. Don't kind of struggle and get there. Keep the hands down. Let them float away and bring the feet nice and sturdily underneath the hips. So we fold here. We can hang. Maybe take hold of opposite elbow. Have a little sway from side to side. Take another breath in. Take another breath out. Nice deep bend in the knees, tucking the tailbone under, and we roll up through the spine, stacking up bone by bone. taking your time as you go. And again, as you come to standing, loop the shoulders up, back and down. Exhale here. Beautiful. We're going to repeat all of that on the other side. So again, we take a nice big breath in, we reach the arms up, we grow tall. Exhale, we hinge at the hips and we fold. So again, find that nice flat back and just fold to wherever feels comfortable for you, even if that's here, maybe up here, or maybe you're down here. Okay, take a breath in, take a breath out. Inhale, find your halfway lift, fingertips to your shins, zipping up, find that flat back, and think about creating space here. Create space in your spine. And as you exhale, maintain that length, maintain that space. Beautiful. Bend the knees, plant the hands down. This time we're going to take a step back with the right leg. Right knee gently comes on down, and again pad the knee out, roll your mat up or use a blanket, whatever you have to hand. And then we're going to lift the chest, bring our hands to our hips. Okay, as again, find those right angles in both knees if we can. If you're feeling a little bit wobbly here, maybe we have a chair nearby or a wall like I do, just to kind of catch you if you need to. And again, you might be feeling that stretch pretty much straight away in the right hip flexor. Or maybe we make it a little bit more active, so thinking about dragging left foot back and dragging right knee forwards. Beautiful. At the same time, tucking tailbone under, driving the hips forwards. Beautiful. And it's quite an intense stretch there. So if it's too much, feel free to just ease back. It's all good. Lovely, well done. Okay, let's take one more breath in. And one more breath out. Lovely. Gently pour the heart forwards. Hands come down towards the mat. You're going to walk the left toes forwards as you go. Take an inhale. And as we exhale, we start to lengthen that left leg. But again, maybe we keep a bend in the knee. We can keep the toes down, or maybe we lift the toes to point up to the sky. Beautiful. This is our half split stretch. And again, we're targeting the hamstrings, really targeting the back of the left leg. Beautiful. And again, if you do have blocks or books that you want to place underneath the hands to give you a little bit more height and to kind of effectively bring the ground up to you, that works just as well here. Beautiful. So let's just hold for one more breath in. One more breath out. Gently bend back into the left knee. Push down through the palms, and you're going to send the left knee back next to right. Lovely, well done. Okay, take an inhale here. Exhale, hips stay lifted, chin and chest comes down towards the mat. Hug the elbows in. And then inhale, you swim the torso through, hips come down. Roll the shoulders away from the ears, and we take a little back bend. So again, we can be here, or maybe we rise up that little bit higher for your cobra. Beautiful. Separate the legs slightly, activating those glutes. Take a breath in. Exhale, come all the way down. Beautiful. Take an inhale. Exhale, push through the arms to come back up onto your hands and knees. And then we tuck the toes under. We send the hips up to the sky. Downward facing dog. Okay, we're nearly there. We're just going to do something a little bit different this time. So take a full round of breath in your down dog. Take an exhale. Now from here, let's inhale and just lift the right leg to the sky. Doesn't matter how high it goes, it might be kind of hovering above the ground. Just lift it as high as it wants to go. Take a breath in. Now as we exhale, let's squeeze right knee into the chest. Beautiful. Shoulders come over the wrist, look in between the hands, breath in. Exhale, softly step the right foot forwards. Now you might find that your right foot kind of lands about here, and that's okay. We can take hold of the right ankle with the right hand and guide it that little bit further forward. So if it needs a little bit of help, do feel free to give it that little bit of assistance. And then from here, we're going to drop the left heel down, turn those left toes out 90 degrees. We windmill the arms, left arm starts, right arm follows, and we come into warrior two. So we're sinking into this right knee, left leg is long, spreading the toes down and towards the ground, a little bit of softness in the shoulders, energy reaching out through the fingertips. Fabulous. Okay, take a big breath in here. Take a big breath out. Now we're going to make this warrior 2 a bit more of a dancing warrior. Don't worry, it's nothing too extravagant. We're going to take a big inhale. You're going to wrap left arm around your lower belly. Right arm is going to reach up to the sky. Beautiful. Take an inhale here. Take an exhale. Inhale, we change. So the right arm is going to wrap around the lower belly. Left arm reaches up and over. Beautiful. So all we're doing is kind of swaying the torso from side to side and changing the arms as we go. So we change using our inhale, big breath in. Exhale as you arrive. Let's go again. Inhale, you change. Exhale, you arrive. We're going to go one more time. Inhale, you change. Exhale, arrive. Inhale, you change. Exhale, arrive. Beautiful. Inhale, come back to warrior 2. So arms back out to that T shape. And then as we exhale, we're going to wind with the arms all the way back down. Right hand lands, then the left. We're going to spin onto the ball of the back foot. Left heel lifts. Big inhale. Now as we exhale, see if we can step right foot back next to left for a little plank pose. Find this nice long line. Inhale. Exhale, send the hips to the sky, down dog. Beautiful, well done. Let's have a little look at that on the other side. So this time as we inhale, we send the left leg up, and again, it doesn't matter how high it is. Big breath in. Exhale, drive left knee towards the chest. Look in between your hands, breath in. And see if we can softly step that left foot there. And again, if it doesn't quite get there, we can take hold of the left ankle and step it out a little bit further forwards. Pop the right heel down. We wind with the arms. Right arm leads this time and the left arm follows. Warrior 2 on the other side. Beautiful. Okay. Take a breath in here. So again, you're sinking into the left knee. Right leg is long, and see if you can press into that little toe edge of the back foot and align your heart over your pelvis. So you might have this tendency to lean the heart a little bit further forwards, and see if we can stack those on top. Softness in the shoulders, energy out through the fingertips. Okay, let's have a little dance through our warriors. So we inhale. We're going to wrap the right arm around our lower belly. Left arm reaches to the sky. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Inhale, we change. Left arm wraps around the lower belly. Right arm reaches up and over. Beautiful. Breath in. Breath out. Lovely. Let's move a little bit quicker. Inhale, we change. Exhale, we arrive. Energy out through the fingertips as you go. Inhale, you change. Exhale, arrive. One more time. Inhale, change. Exhale, arrive. Inhale, change. Exhale, arrive. Lovely. Inhale, come back to your warrior 2. Find that T shape with the arms. Exhale, hands come all the way down towards the mat. The left hand lands, then the right. Lift that back heel. Step left foot back next to right for your little plank pose. We're not here too long. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. And then let's send the hips all the way up to the sky. Beautiful, well done. Okay. Take a big breath in here. Big breath out. And then just gently bring the knees all the way down towards the mat. And again, you can separate the knees apart, or maybe you keep them parallel, your choice. Melt the hips back towards your heels. Come back into your child's pose, back where we started. Beautiful. And again, you can stack one fist on top of the other for the forehead to rest on, your choice. Beautiful, well done. Okay. Let's just settle here for a moment. Maybe you notice your heart rate, your breath rate. Maybe we're breathing a little bit more quickly or a little bit deeper perhaps. Just notice how you feel here. Beautiful. We're going to take one more big breath in. One more big breath out. Lovely, well done. Look forwards. Reach the fingertips forwards, and then from here, see if you can kind of glue your forearms and your elbows down towards the mat, and you're gently going to pull the body all the way along the mat. Come to lie on your friends. Lovely, well done. Keep the legs slightly apart, lift in the chest, and just bring your elbows underneath the shoulders, and taking a really gentle back bend, moving into Sphinx pose. So elbows underneath the shoulders, shoulders down and away from the ears, and see if we can have that sensation almost like you want to pull your heart through your chest, sending the heart forwards. Lovely, well done. And then whilst you're here, it might be quite nice to bring a little bit of movement into the head and the neck. So you might just gently turn the head from one side to the other. You might look up and down, you might do some half neck rolls, entirely up to you. Beautiful. Close the eyes if you wish. Lovely. Okay. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. Fabulous. And then from here, we're going to roll onto our back. So feel free to kind of make your own way there. Or maybe we push down through the right hand to lift the right elbow away from the mat. You're going to thread the left arm under, so the left shoulder comes down, and then you keep rolling over towards the other side. Gently find yourselves coming onto your backs, and if you are like me and you've rolled off your mat a little bit there, just gently bring yourselves back, have a little shuffle, a little shimmy. Beautiful. So we find ourselves nice and grounded down towards the mat, knees are bent pointing up to the sky. And we can release the arms out into a T-shape or a cactus shape depending on how much space you have. Beautiful. Take a big breath in. Take a big breath out. And then from here, we're just going to let both knees fall towards the right hand side. So as the knees fall towards the right, you may decide to bring the left knee to stack on top of the right, so the ankle and the knee stacks on top of one another. Or you might even send that left knee slightly further so it comes just in front of the right knee, and you might rest your right hand on top of that left thigh for a little spinal twist. Your left hip is going to be lifted away from the mat, but as best as you can, keep that left shoulder blade down. So if that left shoulder blade has lifted, maybe we ease out of the twist a little bit. Maybe that's a sign we've gone a little bit too far. Beautiful. Okay. We're just going to hold for a big breath in. Big breath out. Lovely, well done. As you inhale, gently bring the knees to point back up to the sky. Take your time. Lovely, well done. You might need to pick up the hips, neutralize the spine a little bit here. And then we're going to let the knees fall to the side, so the knees fall towards the left. And the same again, maybe bring the right knee and ankle to stack on top of the left. Or maybe you send that right knee a little bit further ahead, and the left hand is going to rest on the outside edge of that right thigh. Beautiful. So right hip has lifted, right shoulder blade remains down towards the ground. Beautiful. And it's a gentle little spinal twist here. Hopefully nothing too intense, but it should feel really nice for your spine, for your hips. Beautiful. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Fabulous. And then as we inhale, we gently come back through center, knees points back up to the sky, and again take a moment, maybe you pick up the hips and gently rest them down, neutralizing the spine down and towards the mat, and try to bring your whole spine down here. So your upper back, your mid back, your lower spine, especially here. Beautiful. And if you wish, And maybe you draw the knees into the chest. You can take hold of either the back of thighs, maybe your shins, and just have a little rock, a little sway from side to side. Beautiful. So you can really feel your lower spine pressing down into the ground, and it's almost like a little massage we're giving our spines here. Fabulous. Well done. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Lovely. Gently release those knees. Let the soles of the feet return back down towards the ground. And then from here, we're going to work towards our little relaxation. So you might be quite comfortable as you are. You might be happy keeping the knees bent. So you might actually let the knees kind of knock together here. This might be good for you. Or maybe you decide to stretch the legs out long, letting the legs separate slightly so the toes can kind of flop out towards the side. And then with your arms, maybe you have them resting down by your side. So you might gently have them resting on your belly, helping you to observe the movement of your breath as the belly softly rises and falls here. But wherever you are, just make sure you are as comfortable as you can be here. So letting everything completely soften, letting go of any stress, any tension, as best as we can. And maybe we connect back to that internal tide. Maybe that further helps us to release here. So as we inhale, there's that sense of the tide pulling back. And then as we exhale, the waves crash against the shore. And there's that release. Beautiful. And feel free to stay with that for a few more moments here, keeping the eyes closed, keeping the awareness on your breath. And if the mind starts to wander, or if we get interrupted by any little bits of sound, perhaps from inside your homes or from outside, it's okay. You can take a moment to notice all those thoughts, those different sounds, but we can gently let them go. So we don't need to attach ourselves to them too much, and we can always come back to the breath. Beautiful. And let's take a big breath in here, breathing deeply in through the nose, softly sighing out through the mouth. And again, deep breath in through the nose, softly sighing out through the mouth. One more time, big breath in through the nose. And a deep releasing sigh out through the mouth. Beautiful. And then from here, just start to bring a little bit of gentle movement back into your body. So you can start super small with the fingertips and the toes, moving towards the wrists and the ankles. When you're ready, the movement might get a little bit bigger. Maybe we sway the head from side to side, walking the feet in to sway the knees. Anything goes here. So if there's any particular way you would like to move to gently wake yourself up, that is absolutely fine by me. But when you're ready, just gently choose a side and roll all the way over onto that one side. You can pause there, maybe make a little pillow with the hands for the head to rest on. And then as we exhale, lightly pushing down through the hands, and you're gently going to bring yourselves back up to a comfortable seated position. So take your time, no need to rush. So you might be sitting cross-legged, you might be kneeling, you might be sitting on a couple of cushions or blankets, your choice. Let's bring the palms of the hands down to the knees, soften those shoulders down and away from those ears. And close the eyes as we seal our practice, as always, with the final blessing. May the sun bring you new energy by day. May the moon softly restore you at night. May the rain wash away your worries, and may the breeze blow new strength throughout your being. May you walk through the world knowing its beauty all the days of your life. And with that, we bring the palms, the hands together in front of the heart. We take a bow. We say namaste. Namaste, lovelies. Thank you so much for joining me today for that nice, easy-going flow. I do hope you enjoyed it. As always, leave me a little like, a little comment. I always love to hear from you. But of course, I will see you next week, next Sunday, with another free class from me. I'll see you then. Mwah.